want to set up a Harmonize assignment in your course, a discussion, or a PDF annotation, go to the Assignments tab. Even if you're setting up a discussion, the way the LTI tool is set up, in Canvas, it will always recognize it as an assignment. So go to the Assignments tab, choose the option to add a new assignment, and for our case, we're just going to call this Harmonize Test. We're not going to put any information in the content window. You can set the number of points, choose an assignment group, and for the submission type, we are going to choose External Tool. And what we're looking for in the External Tool list, when we choose Find, we're going to look for Harmonize. The list is alphabetized, so we're going to go down to the H's, and there is a Harmonize assignment. So we told the Assignments tool that we want to do a Harmonize assignment. It's an external tool, and from the list offered here, I'm going to choose Discussion. And then before I select it, I'm going to come down and make sure that it is not checked to load in a new tab. So you don't want this checked. This way, the Harmonize tool will populate in the Canvas window of the assignment. You can add any other assignments you want here and select the due date, but we're going to select the due date in Harmonize because it's going to give us a little more latitude. So I'm going to save and publish the assignment, and when I do that, it's going to load the Harmonize test assignment right here in the assignment window. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is edit my due dates because everything kind of flows from the due dates. So I'm not going to set an available from date. I am going to make it available. I'm going to set the due date for Sunday, February 2nd at 11:59 p.m. And I'm not going to set an available until, but these are all options you could choose. You could limit availability for the Harmonized discussion by setting a window when it will be visible to students, a due date, and a window where it will be available until. For now, I'm just going to set the due date, and I'm going to update my dates. Now, the default participation requirements are one post, initial post, 3 days before the due date. So if the due date is on Sunday, that would be Friday, and 2 comments or response posts on the due date. You can change that here if you want to, or you can change it as you write the assignment. So once we get the due date set, I'm going to write instructions. Now, when I choose this, I have a couple of options. I could use the AI tool to generate my instructions, but I'm not going to do that for this case. I'm going to write my own instructions. And in the text box, I'm going to paste the instructions that I have, which is a scenario discussion where students are going to select a scenario and then provide a detailed response based on the scenario that they picked. I have some requirements for engagement. I want them to respond to 2 of their peer posts. And I have some evaluation criteria and the deadline. So once I'm through with that, I have my text instructions written. If you want, you can also add media and files to the discussion. So if you want them to review an article, watch a video, listen to audio, view a graphic, and comment on that, you can add any media that you want to your discussion post. We're not going to do that now. So now I'm being prompted to consider using the AI coach to set up my rubric or to skip the rubric in the AI coach. If I choose this, what the AI tool will do is look at my instructions for the post, set up a rubric that is quantifiable so that the AI coach could prompt students on improving their post before they submit. There's another video where we walk through that. I'm going to skip it for now. I'm going to skip setup for now, but that is an option that you could use. Now I'm going to configure additional settings because I'm not quite ready to publish. I want to make sure everything's set up right. So when I choose configure additional settings, you can see I have my instructions. Now I'm going to do my post settings. So I could hide all posts and comments from students who have not posted yet. So they'll have to post before they see anybody else's comments. I could select that. I want students to react to other posts and comments, and I want to get insights on their responses. So I'm going to leave all those open. I'm not going to use anonymous settings. Now, in terms of visibility, I want to make sure that I have it set correctly. Do I want this discussion available to students only in the same section or to students in a particular group? And if I choose students in the same group, I'm going to have to choose a group set. So this will pull in all of the current groups for your course, and you want to make sure that you have it set for the right group. I'm going to choose students in the same section, and the rest of it is just sort of settings for if you have video responses, you can set a limit for how long they can record. So once that's set, I'm going to set my milestone due dates and auto grading. You can see it knows my due date is February 2nd, 11:59 p.m. I have auto grading turned off. I could turn it on, and if I did that, then the gradebook would be populated when the milestones are met. I can select a minimum word count. So for example, if I want it to be a 200-word minimum for the initial post, I can set that here. Again, if auto grading is turned on, Grades will be submitted once all the milestones are met. So it would have to meet 200 words. It would have to be posted by the due date. The comments would be posted, and then all the grades would go. If auto grading is off, then all of that is manual. So I just want to make that clear. So the first milestone is for the initial post, and you can see it's set 3 days before the due date, which is the default. Again, we can change that here if we want. The student will have to make one post 3 days before the assignment is due. And then on the due date, they will have to make 2 comments. You can add additional milestones here if you want to break it down even further. But for this, we're going to leave it just for those defaults with the 200-word minimum. And at this point, I don't want any student facilitators. So at this point, I'm ready to publish my discussion. Now, I can save my draft if I want to keep working on it, but that will not make the discussion available. So I want to make sure I publish. And once I do that, my Harmonize discussion is ready to go. I can view it as a student. They can see when the first post is due. They can see when the 2 comments are due. They'll also be able to track their activity. You will too. Using this tool, you can see how many students have posted. There is an option for them to chat with other students in the course. So this is pretty much how you set up a Harmonized discussion or assignment in your course. We hope you follow our channel for more videos like this.